Welcome everybody to the Keys to Wisdom channel, and Merry Christmas to everybody, and also happy 12/12 as every Christmas. Gregorian 12/25 for the entire third day of the Gregorian reform is 12/12 in the Julian calendar. So I'm having quite an unexpected Christmas morning here. A couple days, not last night, but the day before, about 5 p.m., the power went out here. And originally they said it'd be restored by 10 a.m. yesterday on Christmas Eve. And then they started saying 6 p.m. And then it got restored about 1 p.m. yesterday. But it was 5 degrees outside here. And the entire house cooled down to about 44 degrees with no heat. Luckily, a bunch of the water system was through interior walls and power got restored and didn't freeze up. But kitchen walls where it's an exterior wall, of course, cold came right through, froze everything up. So I'm scrambling around yesterday all day with my brother-in-law. Right, as soon as it happened, I had to get in the house and light up candles and get everything going. I tried to save the water system, getting the hot and the cold to drip, especially in that outer wall, but power stayed off so long that it went through the entire tank, right? And the well doesn't refill the tank in the basement. So it stopped dripping overnight, everything froze up. So yesterday I'm going through all kind of crap, right? We're having to run out and get coffee and run out and get food, and my sister's fiance, they went out shopping and doing all this stuff, right? We come back and we're working on the last water line. I get the hot water line opened up. It's a little bit easier because I can bump from the inside shower, keep bumping the line, work at it both ways. I got that going, and we're working on the last cold water line yesterday. Pulled the dishwasher out, and my sister's fiance is working from that side, and I'm under the sink working from that side. And then all of a sudden, right, and there's a couple hair dryers going. And next thing I know, I see my sister. Like, I can kind of hear what's going on, but I really can't hear what's going on. But my sister winds up busting him texting with some woman. And luckily, everything went civilly or whatever. But she ended up telling him he had to leave, and he's packing her stuff up. And my niece, he's not her dad, but he's been around long enough that she considers him to be her dad, and she's all upset. And all this crap is going on. So eventually he packs up most of his stuff and leaves. And I get up early to look out for her every day anyway, so I made sure I was up this morning to get up to have breakfast ready for her on Christmas and let her know her uncles always be around no matter what, and all this shit. So I sit down and I watch the channel that I was subscribed to, talking about the Jezebel spirit. So, of course, like last night, I kind of went through a little situation with what a lot of people could potentially look at as, oh, this Jezebel spirit, right? Some young woman, attractive woman, decided to give him the phone number, and he got tempted and he started texting her with her, and he's been texting with her, and who knows what's going on. He went out last weekend with one of his buddies, maybe. I don't know what is really going on. It's like all Twilight Zone, but it completely flipped Christmas over on Christmas Eve, coming off of the blackout, the whole deal, and I'm sitting there working with the guy as a team, and the next thing I know, right, it's like the team fell apart, right? At least on that end, right? On my end, it's not gonna fall apart because I don't fall apart like that. But so I'm watching the channel that I was subscribed to talk about this Jezebel spirit and all this other stuff. So I put in a comment about what happened here, that the power had gone out and everything was froze up, and I'm scrambling the whole day with my brother-in-law, and then next thing you know, he's busted texting on the phone to some woman. My sister tells him he has to leave, and my niece starts getting all upset about it, and everything like that. And of course, she's only 10, so it's like you prefer her not to be around, but I guess she knows the story that her dad was caught talking to some other woman, and it's just a freaking nightmare or whatever. But then I put down on the thing, I said, but I'm not going to blame any Jezebel spirit for what he did, right? I said, if it was any Jezebel spirit or any other spirit, right, he would fall to any spirit or any other young woman or whatever, giving him a little bit of attention would cause him to fall. And I said, if Jezebel was involved in the whole thing, I'd have to thank her for the deal, because he exposed himself for what he was, right? There's nothing covered that will remain uncovered, right? And if he was solid and fully committed to my sister, and it even gets deeper when the kid is involved, and he's been around probably about 6 years, maybe 6 to 7 years now, and if you were committed and strong with your beliefs and your morals, right, no Jezebel spirit would have any power to tempt you, or any young attractive woman giving you some attention, a phone number or whatever, would move you, right? You're committed. You're fiance, so they're committed to be married, and there's a kid running around calling him dad, and he's actually been pretty good with her, doing a lot of stuff with him, and it's definitely unfortunate because he's pretty dependable, and he says he's going to do something, he normally does it, but in this case here, right, he just exposed himself. If it wasn't this time around, right, next time you run into some situation like that, right, or if there was any spirit involved in the whole thing, right, all it did was expose the man for what the man was, right? And I for surely would not blame any spirit, no matter if it was Jezebel or even Satan, right? I see a lot of shit going on when people say, "Oh, Satan made me do it," or all this other bullshit. Try to like blame that they were tempted on something else, and try to remove some of the blame for themselves, right? So shit, out of this whole deal here, he exposed himself for what he is, not really committed, not really honoring any of his word, and not really willing to do the right things to look out for my niece. Right? So I'd thank Satan if Satan was involved in it. I'd thank Jezebel if Jezebel was involved in it, right? And if not, right, it doesn't really make a difference. Right? He's a man, and he was presented the temptation in any type of way, and he picked it up and took it. Right? And all that did was expose him for what he is, right? So I left a comment about that on there, right? That I would actually thank Jezebel if she was involved in this, right? Because personally, I didn't think uh, he would get caught in any type of thing like this, right? I thought he really was committed, right, with my sister because they've been through some hard times, and a lot of it wasn't his fault, right? And he's always stuck around and always wanted to move forward in life with her and with my niece, right? So this like surprised me, but the information it showed me, right, I'm grateful to get it. I don't care what source it came from, right? And so after I left that comment, next thing you know, I come back out here in the house doing dishes and stuff after breakfast and cleaning up, and Christmas presents and everything was opened and whatever. I come back out and I got a response saying, "Oh, you attacking my channel. This is the second time you've attacked my channel. I never once intentionally tried to attack the channel or whatever, but quoted me some verses to go look at in some bullshit that Paul wrote, something from Corinthians. Right? So I just responded back to the person, "Wow, I I didn't think it was an attack at all, but I definitely will not attack your channel again. Merry Christmas," right? Quickly unsubscribe because I am not going to deal with any shit like that, and also I don't want to be commenting anywhere where somebody can be misconstrue what I say to that type of level, right? The way which has prompted me to make this video here, right? Humans, all of us, right? We're responsible for ourselves when we do fucking things wrong. It's not the fault of Satan. It's not the fault of Jezebel. It's not the fault of anybody else, right? When it comes to what just went on with my brother-in-law, he knows what's right and wrong. He knows what's right and wrong in terms of the word that he's given. I call him my brother-in-law, but they never got married yet. Their fiance, right? He knows what's right and wrong in terms of the word he's given. He knows what's right and wrong in terms of looking out for somebody that's calling him dad, whatever. And he, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter the reason, right? He broke his word and did the wrong thing, knowing that it was wrong, right? He's underneath behind the dishwasher texting to some girl on Christmas, right? And then my sister happens to come and see the conversation that he's under there with the blow dryer doing it, right? He can't hear her walking up. If she didn't bust him, right, he'd still be talking to this girl, and eventually this whole debacle or whatever would happen later, right? That's on him. That's not on Satan. It's not on Jezebel. It's not on anybody else. That's on him, right? And for anybody else that gets into the same position and does shit like that, right? You know what's right and wrong. You decide to do what's wrong anyways, and then you hiding and concealing what is wrong. Well, if any Jezebel spirit or Satan spirit or anything else exposes your ass and gets you busted for the fucking liar and bullshitter that you are, good on Satan and good on Jezebel, right? And it's not this thing that's like, oh, the issue is this Jezebel woman, this young woman that gave him her phone number, right? And flattered him or whatever. It's not her, right? It's, oh, if you remove this Jezebel spirit, this Jezebel woman from the deal, well, then it's all good. That's the only problem. There is no problem regarding that other woman. There's no problem regarding any type of Jezebel spirit or anything going. The problem is the dude. And it's the same situation with everybody everywhere when they're doing the wrong things, whatever it is, stealing from somebody or lying, all kind of different things, right? Especially things that people know better, right? It's not that you lack the knowledge of what's right and wrong on the deal. It's just that you decide that you're going to do the wrong thing, right? And it's not the fault of the Satan spirit or the Jezebel or the other woman or anybody else, right? And it never is. Some people like to think all of this bullshit. Oh, this my wife or my husband or whatever that betrayed me and all this type of shit, and it's because of this fucking other Jezebel woman or this Jezebel dude or whatever. They're the problem. They're not the problem. The problem just got exposed to you. They helped you, right? Whoever they are, right? If you're married or fiance or whatever you got going on, right? And some other woman or some other dude gets involved with your significant other and exposes them for what they are because you catch them doing the wrong things, right? That person didn't do nothing to you but help you and expose the significant other that you're with for what they are. The problem is not that other person, not the other guy, not the other girl, not the Satan spirit, not the Jezebel spirit. The problem is the one that you're with. And you should be grateful to be shown the truth that was being covered up to you prior to that time. So, well, this is all fresh in my memory bank here. I want to put this out here and then get back to work because this is going to be a crazy Christmas again, right? All because of that dude, not because of the woman, not because of the Jezebel or whatever. So we got to take my niece over to my other sister's house. She's going to spend some time there, and then I have to help load and deal with all this bullshit of him coming and getting his other stuff here today. That's what I'm going to be doing, spending my Christmas doing, right? And there's nobody to blame except for the dude that's going to be showing up here to haul all this shit out of here, right? Not that woman. I'm grateful to that woman that she gave him her phone number. And my sister, I don't know, we haven't talked real deeply about it or anything yet, but she should also not be mad at that woman. Be grateful at that woman. She provided you the truth that you needed to see before you get married and this and that, right? Some of this is I don't know, it's good timing, right? Because there's been periods in the last couple of years where this guy was actually trying to talk my sister into moving down to Texas where there'd be some warmer weather because they both had some broke some ankles and bullshit like that. But really, right? What would be the difference there? He'd be down there. My niece and my sister would be down there with him. She'd have busted him talking to some other fucking chick, and then she wouldn't have no family around, nothing to help her away the hell away from everybody else, right? So it's a very big inconvenience for me today, and I'm gonna have a weird ass awkward Christmas, just like my Christmas Eve ended. It was weird and awkward fucking deal, but really over the long term, that's my Christmas present I was given today. If the Jezebel spirit was involved, or the Satan spirit was involved, or if not just that woman, whatever, and even him, right? Give me the present of truth, right? So that no longer would I think those things that I thought in my mind that he was loyal and committed to my sister and my niece, right? So I want to share this, not go too far out, but then as far as the other person that I had subscribed to, well, I definitely won't be attacking their channel again because I'm not going to be watching or commenting on their channel again either, right? the To call it an attack, right? I shared my experience with what the whole Jezebel thing, right, was about, right? If I had not done the part at the end where I said, well, hey, I'm not going to blame no Jezebel spirit if any Jezebel spirit was involved. In fact, I'd even thank Jezebel if she was involved in this shit. If I hadn't done that, if I just told the story of what happened and said, oh, that damn Jezebel spirit up to no good. Oh, great comment. I love you. Thank you for commenting. But when I, at the end, say, there is no Jezebel spirit, no Satan spirit to blame, no other woman to blame. It's just on the damn person, right? The way it always is. Oh, you attacked my channel. Yeah. If saying that people are responsible for themselves, right, and they know the difference between right and wrong, and when they start hiding shit and doing the wrong thing, even when they know it, right, that it's them. There's nobody is in danger of a Jezebel spirit or any other spirit of Satan or any type of temptation. If you have the morals, you know what's right and wrong, you know what's good and evil, and you're committed to doing the right things, and you're committed to doing the good things. Everything's going to work out for you. None of that shit's going to trip you up. Whoever gets tripped up by that bullshit, that's you. You tripped yourself up, right? And that's the that's the way it is. And if I talk with him, which I'm gonna end up having to, it's a help. There's a lot of heavy shit. I'm gonna have to start helping him load. I'm gonna have to tell him the same damn thing here. You know, hey, dude, I didn't expect this out of you. I thought better of you, but what you did was not good. And especially, if it was just him and my sister, I mean, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to me. But when someone's calling you dad and this and that, and relying on you, well, that's a big deal to me, right? You don't give your word on something like that, and then turn around and be doing things like you're doing that he did on Christmas Eve, and now my niece is gonna remember this bullshit. It's one of her Christmases for the rest of her life, and all this other crap, But I guess the moral of the story is, you got to call a spade a spade. You fucked up, you did it. They fucked up, they did it. Not no fucking Jezebel spirit or Satan spirit or blaming on anybody else. Right? And removing the Jezebel spirit or the Satan spirit or the anybody else from the situation doesn't change a damn thing, because that person still did it. And if they did it there and they knew what was right and wrong, and they decided to do what was wrong, and anyways, right, they're not a trustworthy person. You should be grateful that they were exposed. So anyways, with that, please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you think that's something you should do. And again, Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and happy 12/12, Julian.